Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Disco Elysium, where we are on our way to a new thing. Hold on, I'm gonna put my armor on. My armor's mostly on. Yeah, sure, I could put the boots on. I'm just saying, we don't know what's gonna happen, and maybe I want to be real careful. Alright. Do I know how to operate a boat? I hope Kim knows how to operate this boat. A skiff with a small steering engine in the back floats on the calm mirror of the sea. Its two seats are empty. Once you get in, that's it. One pull of the starter handle and you're off into the bay. A strange trepidation comes over you. Are you sure you want to go now? Have you made all the necessary preparations? Closed all your accounts? Remember what the net picker said. It's a small tank. You won't be going back and forth on this. Hold on. There is one thing I want to do first. But I think we have kind of wrapped up all the stuff that, I know there's a bunch of stuff we didn't get done, but that's stuff we can no longer get done, mostly. I wanted to interact with this. The porter reel is just what you needed. The reel is attached to the apparatus with a satisfying click. The tape is routed behind the magnetic reader. You press the large button marked Commence, and the tape starts spinning. There's a small delay before the song starts playing. I'm gonna press my ear against the speaker, and hopefully this won't make a horribly loud sound for everybody. It sounds like someone's moving in the room, getting comfortable. Then the organ starts playing a simple melancholic tune, echoing in the hallway. A lone singing voice joins in, telling you about the tiniest church in St. Seine, surrounded by an even tinier yard. You almost feel the seaside mist on your skin. It's mega sad. Within seconds, you know, this is the one. The real shit you've been looking for. The one you trashed your room to that Klaasje told you about. Perform it! A click, then silence for a bit. Then the tape stops spinning. Could I sing this for karaoke? I think I could sing this. Well, of course you could sing this. You could take sad to a whole new level with this. You already know the lyrics since you've listened to it like a million times. Yep, they're all here. All 3 verses. And the B-side of the tape contains the instrumental version. It's like the world itself is telling you to do it. Only one obstacle stands in your way. What? Gart? You have to convince Gart to let you sing karaoke in the whirling. After you've won him over, you can express yourself. Let the pain out. Make everyone understand. The lieutenant watches you pack up the boombox. He doesn't say anything. Here's the thing, we're being told we can't come back, basically. And I know we were supposed to perform karaoke in the evening, because there's more people at the bar then, but we're probably not going to have another evening in Martinez. That's my feeling. That's the hunch I've got, on account of I'm a police detective and everything. We're delaying it. We're delaying going to the island even one more time. This is the thing I'm going back for. Is everybody outraged by watching me bumble through this game yet? I'm trying to think, was there anything else that we really wanted to do? I mean, I would have loved to have found the murder weapon. We may still. Armor pieces, we can't do the beauty to the wall thing. I'm not going to drink booze. We never did figure out the jam mystery, but I mean, that's gone now. We got to be pretty close on these thoughts, right? 33 minutes and an hour 15. We also have 2 skill points. My suspicion is we're going to get a whole bunch of XP for successfully singing, provided that we successfully sing. I'm guessing that we probably are going to want to change up our equipment here a little bit. We probably want to be in suggestion mode. Honestly, Gart seems to like us at this point. It probably won't be that hard to convince him. Not that there's necessarily a whole lot of value in doing this in the first place.
Is there something I can do for you?
Did you see the huge graffito outside? No, I completely failed to notice that. It's only in front of the entrance to the establishment I manage. Though, maybe, he continues reluctantly, it's still better than just the blood. Gart, I need to sing karaoke. Now. No, you don't. It's part of my quest of self-discovery. No, wait. This is my way of apologizing for the trouble I've caused. Please, let me say I'm sorry. By causing more trouble. I think we're good. Yeah, but Johnny Law's about to tear it up sad style. The whirling doesn't need more sad style. That's one of the styles it can do without right now. Man, why do you even have the PA system if no one's ever going to use it? It's for the... He begins confidently, but then stumbles on his own words. It's for no one. It's a prop. I'm not letting anyone use it after the great karaoke catastrophe of 44. Wait, what happened in 44? A lot of people got killed because some asshole wanted to sing karaoke. No, it's not a prop. It's for your clients. I know that it's used. Okay, yes, it's for some clients. I'm a real client, I've paid my bills, and I have the right to use the karaoke machine. Ah, well, he comes up with a counter-argument. We don't have any tapes, they all got stolen. Oh, it's alright, I have my own song with me. The man in the vest and the violet shirt stares at the tape you've just given him. He begins to frown. Hard. This is the look of a man who's defeated. He knows he's out of excuses. Fine, fine. Climb on that stage and do your thing. Just get out of my hair. He shakes the tape at you. I'll plug it in for you. Damn this karaoke machine. I'm having it uninstalled, he mumbles to himself. Oh yeah, time to do the damage. Okay, hold on. I cannot sing this song in armor. We gotta get right here. Where are my empathy shoes? Gonna need my empathy shoes. Gonna need my electrochemistry gloves. I mean, it's sort of an electrochemical nightmare. We could go for the shivers gloves as well, or the half-light gloves. No, I think we got this right. These are great pants for this savoir-faire. That's an important thing when you're singing. That said, do we have better? Probably not. This is a bad shirt. It's a bad shirt for this moment. Conceptualization. You know, you got to really like put together what was the feeling behind this. Drama and electrochemistry. There we go. That's looking like a karaoke outfit. This coat has... Oh, this is a jacket. I don't want to change my jacket. We got the right jacket. This is the right jacket. Yeah, I think I'm ready. I think this is what you wear to sing some karaoke. This makes sense to me, for some reason. Alright, Kim, one last thing. This feels right. You belong here. I do belong here. The stage is all set up for your performance. It feels silent. You can hear the pellets creak under your feet. You feel a little dizzy, a little unsteady suddenly. So, are you ready for your thing now? Let me know when I should turn on the karaoke carousel. Oh, it's a drama check. Hold on, I can fix that. Hold on. Drama. I am all about drama. I have some clothes for this. I think. Right? Probably. I have at the very least this bow tie. This extremely good singing bow tie. It's obviously the thing you want to wear. Do I want to... I don't... hold on. Let's look around for other jackets that have drama on them. Plus, that's Kim's jacket. You know, we can't really... I can't do that to him. Oh, mesh tank top. Obviously a winner. We actually have a lot of good drama gear. I think that that might be it, though. I mean, this has drama on it. It's as good at drama as this jacket is. Okay, I have never been readier. The mesh tank top with the bow tie is a look that I'm really surprised has never caught on. 92%. Am I ready? I think I'm just ready. I was so ready for the 2 to come up. The air is thick with anticipation. The tape clicks into the carousel, and then the music starts.
often go there. To the tiny church there. The smallest church in San. Though it once was larger. How the real may rest there. Down through the mist there. Toward the Seven Sisters. Toward those pale cliffs there. I would often stay there. In that tiny yard there. I have been so glad here. Looking forward to the past here. But now, you are all alone. None of this matters. No, none of this matters at all.
Well, that was really something. What an interesting choice to have it performed in the voice of the ancient reptilian brain. That's A rather lonely applause echoes through the mostly empty cafeteria. Actually, for how empty the cafeteria is, this is a lot of applause I'm hearing. It's Gart. Not bad, he tells you with an approving nod. Yes, not bad at all, the lieutenant joins in. You feel your hands shake as awareness of your body returns to you. Thank you, ancient reptilian brain. No reply. There is silence now in the deep where the voice came from. It has receded into you, to return only in dreams and nightmares. Thank you. I don't need big crowds. I just need my friends. Okay. Yes, I'm going to unplug the microphone, so you can get off the stage now. That was 100% worth running back for. I almost want to ask everybody what they thought about it, but I don't want to seem like a diva. Let's just keep moving. Let's go to the island. It's time to do the thing now. I'm definitely going to do another playthrough of this game. I don't know if it's going to be immediately, but yeah, it feels to me like there's a lot of stuff to see here. It would be pretty sick if those words were on fire. I mean, heavy fuel oil would burn for a while, right? I kind of want to... No, I'm going to leave it. It's not mine to set on fire. That's the thing about arson. It's totally fine as long as you're just burning your own stuff. But I'm a police officer. I gotta follow some of the laws at least some of the time. And the ones about arson are relatively important. Alright. We gotta get our traveling gear on. This is not appropriate traveling gear. Number 1. Armor. Number 2. Cover the armor with something. I probably want, Esprit de Corps and Shivers. Those are the good keeping me safe stats. I think we're going to keep our good pants on, keep our good hat on. I like this hat a lot. -1 perception on the glasses is like fine, but I'm gonna switch to these. Got these nice prescription shades. We're gonna grab my 8-eyed Terratorn tie, which is just absolutely brilliant. And then I think we're good. Okay, traveling clothes. Let's go. It is finally time. I've been curious about this for quite a while. Alright, you take the engine, Kim. I'll hold the boombox. What? What? How else do we blast Sad FM on our way to the island? Fine, he gives you a resigned shrug. Let's blast Sad FM then. Sad FM is a radio station specializing in sad, slow rock songs. You seem to know its frequency by heart. Get in and ride. Let's do it. I like the character that we've built here. And I like that Kim seems to be basically fine with it at this point. Boy, this thing's real slow.
Want to be free. Want to be free. It will last forever. Eternally. Want to be free. Want to be free. It will last forever. Want to be free. Want to be free. It will last
I was not expecting the final phrase of that song to be Disco Inferno. What a weird thing this whole game is. The boat comes to a slow stop. Kim turns the engine off. Then there's silence. In the silence, a sputter of wings. A flock of quails takes off in the distance. Let's go. I am very curious what we're going to find here. The rusted chain trails off into the ocean. The chain trails off into the ocean, connecting the island to the supply depot on the coast. Hey, that leads to the depot in Land's End. The lieutenant looks at the mechanism overhead. Ah, yes, so it seems. Well, what do you think it was used for? For bringing munitions to the island, maybe? And supplies. You could also lock the bay when you raise the chain. As a defensive measure, locking off that side of the bay. But lock it from whom? Well, from enemies. He looks up ahead. Enemies of the commune of Revachol. This sea fort was a revolutionary fortification, I believe. A makeshift bridge. The bombs were powerful enough to break the foundation. Yeah, whatever happened here was a pretty big deal. I mean, we know what happened, approximately, but must have been a hell of a thing to actually witness. Also, this video is definitely getting content ID'd. These tires are falling apart. They're at least 50 years old. Okay, we're gonna have to get like way over there to interact with that. I'm also I'm just extremely curious about how this is all going to end. Some fuel has leaked out of the barrel, black and viscous. There's a lingering trace of mazut in the air. Attention, inflammable, which is like flammable, but even more so. It's actually exactly the same. The dry grass crackles under your feet as you stop. Far away, birds' wings touch the still surface of the sea. What is that flutter? A flock of quail departs, now more than 100 meters away. 102, 105, but underneath the flutter. On the islet, there's almost no wind, just snow quietly falling on the reeds. Bulrushes swaying on the waterline, long dried leaves chafing against each other. Like a silent orchestra tuning at the beginning of some major work. Of great importance to the few who attend. And to the west, a silent hiss, sea air moving through the needles of a pine tree. To the east, the faraway roar of the city, distant like today's dream. Before it, the sound of sand, the low tide filtered through its grains, a bird tending to its feathers. Snow falls on the water, melting away without even a whisper. Ahead, a low hum. The air slowly moves through a concrete box, through its ancient slits and cracks, resonating, hollow, a big building. And beyond that, further north, air flows out of a pillbox window. There is very little there. The air cossets flowers on a meadow. Cossets is the verb in that? Hold on a second. That's a word I've never seen before. Verb, care for and protect in an overindulgent way. The air cossets flowers on a meadow. Absolute silence. Reeds motionless. Bulrushes motionless. A flake of snow falls on an extinguished campfire. Hiss. And below the silence, Koldomamadakwa. We are way out now. Way out in the west. No, it's just your imagination. You can't hear such things. Damn my logic. Kim. Yes? Have you noticed how quiet it is? I have. Is that why we're stopping? Yeah, wait, I have to listen to one more thing. The lieutenant nods in silence, but then I don't have any things to listen to. Damn my sense of logic. This barrel says ICM. You see a star with little specks in it. ICM. This feels familiar somehow. Kim, what is the ICM? Insulindian Citizens Militia. It's the official name of the Communards Army. The black and white army of the Revolution. Huh. RCM. It sounds like RCM. Revachol Citizens Militia. What a dumb thing to say. It does. Why? The RCM may descend from the ICM. May? It's impossible to say. He looks through the darkened doorway. It was chaos after the war. The name was good for getting people to join us. Revachol West was mostly workers and criminals. Nice political thoughts rush through your neocortex. It's going to be hard to say them. Carrying around all that weight on a busted crutch is making you pant. So... Hey, ICM sounds like ICP. I suddenly want Fago. It's a little embarrassing in 52, no? Maybe we need to rebrand? No. What I'm hearing is, we descend from the glorious Revolutionary Army. There were all sorts of groups and groupuscules back then. It doesn't really matter. He bows to inspect the barrel. Are those speck stars, too? No, that's the uninhabited archipelago. A DeLorean-era symbol of Insulinda, known as the Face in the Sea. A white star. No, he looks at it. An upside-down star. It can absolutely be both of those things. This looks old. What's it still doing here? After, he thinks, 44 years? That's not nearly enough to hide what happened here, Lieutenant Yefrator. One of these barrels was still leaking fuel, as you saw. The city is full of things like this. Old bullets, guns, fuel. It certainly does seem to be the case. Alright, hold on. Actually, before we go in here, let's have a look around a little bit more. No way to get up there. Stairs are gone. Yeah, I mean... Yes, I agree with that assessment. Most of the stairs are, in fact, gone. It looks like there's not really anywhere else to go up here. And I saw something over here that we could interact with, but I guess we'll have to be down there to touch it. Let's just push inside, then. And if something jumps us, I'm in front. I got a plan. I'll take care of you, Kim. Don't worry. If anybody's getting shot here, it's gonna be me. We are 8 minutes out from understanding the wasteland of reality. This was once an armament rest. Twin cannons were attached here. Medium distance, large caliber. We have a couple of skill points, and I have no idea what to do with them, by the way. Books, mostly fantastique and historical fiction. An awful lot of them. Dishes stained with sauce and fire. A survivor's kitchen. You see candles planted on a broken rangefinder. A moth-bitten bedsheet keeps the wind out. Also, there's just like a ton of stuff in this room. Books and magazines lie scattered on the floor and on a makeshift cupboard. They are not particularly well organized. Most are soft covers, serialized fantastique and detective stories from the 20s and 30s. This disparate digest includes the classic Animal Adventures. Popular depictions of man versus nature by amateur naturalists T&T Harpin, husband and wife. Widely read by people from all walks of life. I mean, who doesn't like nature? Who doesn't want to survive? Among what is mostly commercial fiction and serialized stories, you find a magazine catholique for electrical engineering. Then it's back to pulp, light erotica, an international thriller about circuit benders. Someone's made themselves a home. The lieutenant inspects the softcover. Does anything stand out as unusual? Well, that's a thing I'd have to change my clothes to find out. Conceptualization clothing. We have some of that. Also, this might be a thing worth putting some skill points into. I'm supposed to be good at conceptualization. That's a light blue skill. So I wouldn't feel too bad dumping a skill point or two into that. Obviously, you conceptualize things better when your jacket is very white. What you want to do is you want to just blend into the background. Because the main problem people have with conceptualization is that they're seeing too much of themselves and too little of the world around them. You know? You know what I'm saying? Does this sound right to anybody? Okay, I guess that's as good as it's getting. Well, let's try it. Oof. This is a digest of someone who's dead bored. Most of it is for entertainment purposes, fittingly right next to the radiola on the floor. Wait, so nothing out of the ordinary here. Maybe it's a little old-fashioned? There's a nude mag? More than that, you can't say. The print in some of these is pretty small, though. This person has good eyesight. Good enough eyesight to pull off an incredible sniper shot. Man, my conceptualization is actually very good. Well, now it's even very better. Let's try that again. There we are. Hit it exactly. Oh, yes, under the bed there is a rather extensive collection of critical theory. That is, dour, life non-affirming left-wing literature, published by small imprints such as Abattoir Firm and, Wisha, maybe? It's not exactly light reading. Look, Kim. Powerful communist theory, rigorous and truthful. Ouija, he enunciates the word diligently. I agree. Humanitarian sciences. It stands out. Not a lot of critical theory around in Revachol West. Your incendiary remark has failed to provoke him. Wasn't there some in the communist students' room? A student in that apartment building seemed to have some as well. Well, yes, that one student did. The little books seem inconsequential next to the big pile of frivolous entertainment covering them. Critical theory books. What do you think this means? Whoever has lived here, they have some education and a certain set of interests. Interesting. Alright, what else? There was other stuff to interact with. Over here, we could steal this towel. Oh wow, I actually can steal this. Sure, plus empathy scarf. That seems like a useful thing. Let's have a look at the motor here, whatever this is. A microgrid generator. An old cylindrical generator is nested above the ammo lift, with makeshift electrical wiring running out of its side and across the floor. The cables disappear into the wall to your right. The lieutenant puts his hand on the metal barrel, checking for warmth. It's cold now, he concludes, but someone has been maintaining it. The wiring has been repaired. Where do these wires lead? He looks at the wall socket. Downstairs somewhere. What kind of generator is this? Liquid carbon. I would imagine it takes mazut. He points to the open fuel cap on the side of the dynamo. Kind that's favored by vagrants and fuel thieves. It's been a long winter. Long and cold. If anyone stayed here, they'd need a generator. I have an option to pour fuel into the tank, but I don't see any fuel. Do I have fuel? Just tap on the side of it. A hollow ring. The canister is empty. Dust falls from the generator and down into the ammo lift. So, what does this mean? A generator here? I don't know. I'm not a philosopher. This is his idea of a joke. I don't know if I want to kick the generator. I have very hard boots on right now. Now, you know what? This does seem like the thing our character would say, though. I am. This generator proves the universe's material. He nods approvingly. He even smiles. I meant, like, why is it here? Someone with basic electrical skills has restored it in order to keep the room warm. Maybe it's the fire guy. The wind outside picks up suddenly with a faint howl. Inside, it's warm. Alright, hold on a second. First of all, I'm going to process this thought that I've been working on for what seems like half the series at this point. Congrats, you're sober. It will take a while for your body to remember how to metabolize anything that isn't sugar from alcohol, so you're going to be pretty ravenous soon. Eat plenty. You can expect your coordination and balance to improve in a couple of weeks. In 2 months, you might start sleeping like a normal person. Full recovery will take years, though, and it'll be depressing, and it'll be boring. Don't expect any further rewards or hand claps. This is how normal people are all the time. So -1 physical instrument, -1 inland empire, -1 suggestion, but +1 psyche, which offsets the loss of these two, and just pushes our other psyche stuff up, right? That seems like a pretty damn big deal, and also, maybe, the best thing that we could have done for this poor character. Date of birth generator is 39 minutes out. Sorry, I should look at my stats just to... Yeah, okay. That did do approximately what I thought it was going to do. Boy, our suggestion is totally screwed up. That's fine. Who needs to suggest stuff to people? Alright. So do I have fuel on me? A dented... So this is a fuel canister. The government issued red-dyed fuel oil inside. Looks like paint. I totally do have fuel on me. But why? Where did I don't even remember where I got that. What is this? An FALN Arrower shirt. Oh man, we could complete the set. This FALN training shirt has seen one wash too many. It retains its unusual design, one sleeve short, the other long, but little of its original colors. A giant F swooshes across the chest, now in gray. Look at that. I'm branded. You can't tell because of the jacket, but... Okay. I guess let's just keep looking around. I want to see what the generator's connected to before I mess with it. Here we have some magnesium. You can never have enough. And here, some magnesium. Oh good, I heard somewhere that you can never have enough. This great blast door must weigh over 10 tons. Rust peels off it. You see a small metal door nested inside a larger one. A heavy steel blast door. There is a conventional keyhole above the handle. It's very small. How do we open this? He looks at the door, then at its bigger brother, then at the lock. Maybe this is one of the doors we don't open. He's right. It would be better to open its big brother. A powerful engine hangs under the ceiling. It must control the blast door. I find us not opening it highly unlikely. Alright, the lieutenant knocks on the metal. I retract my statement. It was naive. Let's look around and get it open. What's on the other side? Another part of the island, probably. The lieutenant looks into the keyhole. The lock looks like it could still be usable. I like that Kim's starting to just go along with me on stuff now. I have proven to him that I am a force of nature. Thoroughly unstoppable. Careful, the stairs have collapsed. Alright, well, we'll go around. We'll limp around just like very quickly is all. I have a very fast limp. Green paint flakes off the mono-black aluminum cabinet. There are rows of switches on the front panel, a frequency band, and even a keyboard. What is this, then? The console of an antique computation device. The lieutenant points to the wires running into the machine. The generator upstairs, with wires coming out. They terminate here. Could this open the blast door? Possibly. He inspects the dials. Urgence over. Allume radio diffuse, I think, because of the diacritical mark. It sounds like this device was used to control the electronics here. Maybe it still does. This device was used to control the electronics in the room, my sense of my fingers confirm. Could open doors, control lights, function as a radio computer. Alright, well, hold on. It's not powered yet. I'll play with it in a moment. This hatch is jammed shut. Water rushes below. Far down below. Well, it can't be that far. We're not that far up. Hey, look at that! More magnesium. I'm a little worried about that. Am I going to be losing a ton of morale soon? I don't know why they keep feeding me magnesium. Not that I'm complaining, obviously. Who would? Well, let's see what's out here. I assume that the blast door is where we're supposed to go. A firing slit. You can't see inside. Alright, to mess with that, we'd have to get all the way around there, which apparently is a thing we can do. He's certainly moving like he has a plan. Must have been a direct hit to take out such a huge chunk. Yeah, that's actually kind of amazing. Wait, did I have a thought? The distant sound of cargo ships. Signal horns echo on the water. Well, this is all very picturesque. It's not exactly helpful. This is something, though. The winch is broken. Rust has eaten what remains of the chain. The depot that supplied this chain is long gone from the coast. A strange feeling, looking at the water. Maybe you should just wander off into the sea. Leave it all and walk in. What? Why? Perhaps there's someone there, under the water, waiting for you. Where it always has been. Smelling of tutti frutti and betrayal. But it's cold. Yes, cold and still. But love is warm, like the inside of her mouth. No, I can't get drawn into this now. No, we're not starting with that. Not now, not this time. This thought is over. Raise your sight. In the snowing mirror of the bay, you see Martinez reflected. Tall edifices of ruins reach into the water, like shimmering towers. And the shacks, too. Pine trees and motor lorries, upside down. Islets and posts like stepping stones lead to the water in front of you. Go. Step in. It's been too long. No, absolutely not. I have self-control now. I have some degree of understanding of myself and we're doing an important thing, and I don't want to disappoint or freak out Kim, because I've done that enough. The pain in your pelvis makes you wince. Then you continue. The inside of the fortress. You can make out the console and the blast door. I'm not really sure which way is the way forward, if there is such a simple concept as forward here. Apparently I didn't need to bring my own fuel. There's some right there. A weathered artillery map showing coordinates in the Bay of Revachol. And also a fuel canister, with, I assume, a ton of fuel in it because it's very valuable. There's still some fuel in this battered canister, a liter or two. The metal looks decades old. The logo of the automotive manufacturer Elysium has faded on the side. I'm a little bummed out that there was fuel here. I thought maybe I had done something special. An old medicine cabinet, newly stocked with dramamine. That's interesting. Who's responsible for that, do you reckon? There's a rain-soaked mattress on a concrete slab, only half covered by the crumbling roof. At the head of it, double embrasures, firing slits like two eyes in the wall. B triple prime. The lieutenant lowers his voice, stepping closer with his hand on his gun. This looks like a good place to shoot from. A single-person mattress, modern, civilian use, brand name Marjorie. There's a fuel stain on the cover along with cigarette burns. And an empty can of beans on the ground next to it, filled to the brim with cigarette butts. Yeah, sure, let's have a look at one. The silhouette of a tobacco picker adorns the paper filter. The brand, Tiomutiri. Contemporary Revacholians prefer Druin, a local blend from the southern islands, or Astra, the legendary cigarette from Grad. Tiomutiri is favored by older men for its paper filter tips, sweet smell, and added tar. Hey, Tiomutiri, like the ones we found at Land's End, remember? I may have been wrong when I said it was unimportant. He stares into the can for a second. This means the same person could have visited both locations. I didn't see any signs of smoking inside, though. If people live there, they keep it tidy. This here may also just be a smoking spot. Let's have a look at the wall. There's a firing slit in the wall in front of you, like a little window. Concrete is quite old and grimy from years without cleaning by anything other than the rain. Look through the hole. The springs screech as you lean on the mattress and crane your neck to look out. Trepidation. Tingling feeling in your stomach. A small piece of the Martinez coastline opens up in the square in front of you, like a tiny landscape painting, 1 kilometer across the water. The ruins look familiar. On the left, a towering skyscraper, its top floors shaved off by artillery fire. Capeside Apartments, Rue de Cinques-Lane 33A and 33B. And on the right, the red chimney and collapsed back of the 4-story tenement in front of the Whirling in Rags, Rue de Cinques-Lane 10, the doomed commercial area. And between the two, the box-shaped silhouette of the Whirling in Rags. You see a small fleck of white on the rooftop, the upstairs window of Klaasje's room in the snow, reflecting light. There it is. Do you have line of sight to the window? More than that. Kim, with a pair of binoculars, I'd be able to see inside the room. Pair of binoculars, or a scope of a rifle, he points to the makeshift bed. You'd be prone, lying on the mattress, barrel resting on the embrasure. Cheek against the cheek rest, hand on the hair trigger. On a calm day like this, Kim, I could make it. I could make this shot. Good. He pats you on the back, 3 small pats in a row. I think we have it, Detective. The origin of the shot. This is the sniper's nest. Affirmative. Finally. In our defense, nothing pointed here. Many, many leads pointed elsewhere. Yeah, you're right. He looks north over the fortification, then at the mattress. He's conflicted for a second. There's guilt there, and it takes him a moment to rationalize it away. Could the shooter still be here? Where? He looks behind his back. I mean, in Martinez. He nods. I have always assumed it's someone local. We should move. Now. I almost clicked right here on the mattress to be like, hey Kim, what if I did it? You know, it's still possible I did it. We don't know for sure that I didn't. I definitely had a thing for Klaasje. I could make this shot. Maybe I did it. I don't know if I've given this theory enough thought. Or, like, real consideration, you know? Is there... Okay, hold on. No way to jump down here without breaking a few bones, even if you have healthy legs. Well, let's go back inside. We can open up the, We can certainly open up the door now. You feel eyes on your back. Someone's watching. Can't say where. I like the fact that he actually turned around when I, processed that. It's probably just Kim. It's probably just Kim thinking the same thing I'm thinking. Hey, wait a minute. Maybe my partner actually did do this. I don't know. I guess I'm not technically his partner. It feels like I'm his partner, though. And we have so many built-up skill points. I don't even know what to do with them. Alright, let's go put some fuel in the thing. Again, I'm a little bummed out that there was a fuel can here. I thought maybe it was kind of special that I had somehow acquired fuel somewhere else, not even remembering that I had done it. The lieutenant assists you, holding the canister up to the fuel tank as you tilt. Dark brown viscous fluid pours out, and the room fills with a chemical smell. There's a red starter switch on the side of the cylinder, and a start rope on the other side. The lieutenant flicks the switch, and I pull the rope. The recoil start wakes the old generator up. The machine sputters like an old warhorse before settling down to a rattle. Should do it. Alright, let's go and hit this. I wonder, man. So I'm just saying, I have a predilection for left-wing literature. We know that about our version of the character. But that's a choice I made. I wonder. It's not impossible that the game is designed in such a way that this area is populated somewhat with things that make sense for the decisions you've made as your character. It's actually kind of a cool idea. Okay. It's on, he smiles. Turn. Emergency open. Automatic boot. Does seem like I ought to do that. Hold on. I'm going to slide the radio dial real quick. The dial slides under the dusty glass, dark and silent, despite the power being on. You make out defunct stations on the UKV frequency. The words Feld Insular are written on the band. Insular. The lieutenant leans in to inspect the cursive writing. This is an off-air radio computer, I believe, used for military communications. It's an air-gapped system, an off-air military model. Its circuits are nearly impossible to bend, which is to say it cannot be remote-controlled. I feel like the lights are already on. I have my flashlight. I'm going to push the light button. No, the lights are not on. We were just lit by the sunlight from outside. The lighting in the room turns on with a sizzle, a dim ambient orange. And then, the door. The blast door opens with a series of clicks. A shaft of light appears, then widens as the light shines in. Boy, that is taking a minute, huh? So how's everybody doing? How's your day? Mine's going real weird. After you, the lieutenant gestures at the opening. You know, before, outside, when we were walking across the sand, I felt someone watching me. So did I. Not back there, but I felt it ever since we came here. What if we get into another fight? Don't worry. He takes out his sidearm, checks the barrel, then holsters it again. I have a gun. Yeah, I don't, though? Extra good that I do. Sure, alright. Let's go. And by let's go, I mean, hold on a second, let me change my clothes one more time. Just, you know, being sure. Yeah, I mean, if there's somebody down here, they sure as hell know that we've arrived. Okay, there's nowhere else to go over here. I can't. Alright. Well, this'll be interesting. I wonder if we're just not going to solve it. I wonder if we're going to get out here and there's nobody here and then we just have to say, ah, well. I mean, if you were the shooter, why would you still be here, right? What is this? Is it a little raft or a rubber dinghy? It's deflated, broken. Much like me. Small white flowers blossom all around you. Hey, that's a person with a large rifle. Well, feels like that's probably where this is all headed. Just having a look around, making sure there's nothing else to interact with. Flashlight and pry bar. I probably don't need the flashlight. We could equip some chain cutters. You know, I could equip my Ledger of Failure and Hatred. Just like perfectly offset my authority bonus. But this gives us some extra empathy to offset the empathy penalty. Yeah. Yeah, maybe this is the way. I wonder if I've missed out on anything by not having the ledger equipped at like moments when we could have checked our notes. Hey there, buddy. Did I fail to... Let's try that again. Hey there, buddy. An old man wearing tracksuit trousers leans on the frame stock of his rifle. He gathers a big ball of spit in his mouth, then spits it out onto the extinguished fire before him. He raises his black eyes, hooded by creased eyelids, to meet yours. Unclouded by cataracts, his eyesight is sharp. He's practically tearing up from spite. Hatred got the best of him a long time ago. This man hates everything. Are you the fire guy?
What now? I can't hear you.
Did you recently tell 2 kids to put out their fire? 2 twins?
I may have. All sorts of little rats have come sniffing around trying to give up the position.
The position? Sounds like a hiding place. Or like this guy doesn't know the war's over.
Fire guy, regressive bourgeoisie henchman, can't even talk like a grown-up.
That's an odd pronunciation of that word. That's a nice gun you got there.
It's not nice, it's a piece of shit. Gets the job done.
Is that a Bell McGraw?
It's a Triangle 446.
Well, 446 is right. Southeast Samaran made. Exotic. Must be defunct, too. No modern rifle manufacturer of that name springs to mind.
A Samaran rifle? How did you get hold of one?
It was sent to us by our brothers in the Xinyao commune. Military aid.
I do wish his voice was a little bit louder. It has stayed true to him. He can still make it sing. The Xinyao commune?
You heard me. It's good now. Like chalk wiped from a board.
His gaze turns inwards. Huh. Did you close that blast door?
I did. And you opened it. How?
Well, I fueled the generator and then used the console.
I should have burned that console down.
How did you know I was coming?
Reactionary rock and roll music playing on the water.
Ah.
Told you we shouldn't play sad FM.
Hold on, it was not rock and roll, it was sad FM.
Sad FM, huh? I always hated that station. Phlegmatic, counter-revolutionary dirges. Sadness is a mental illness, a weapon of the bourgeoisie.
Okay, that's a closer pronunciation to the one I'm used to hearing.
Fascists were right about rock and roll. It is degenerate, hip, gyrating mental illness music.
Okay, but that's a different type of music than the thing that we were... He seems maybe a little disconnected from reality. It's super weird to just say to a stranger, you've retained your eyesight. What are the odds he's going to put his gun down? Here's the thing. If I say, I need you to put the gun down so we can talk further, then if he chooses not to, we have a situation. If I say this thing, then we don't have a situation unless he decides to get considerably more serious with us. I'm going to try to keep it low-key for the moment until we know what's going on here. I'm with the police. You can keep the gun, but keep it down. Not one move.
No.
Oh, Kim's got a different idea.
Put it down now, sir.
Or you're going to blow my brains out before you question me. To hell with it. It's a walking stick anyway. It's out of bullets.
The old man lays the rifle down carelessly, then looks at it lying there. Like an amputated limb in the sand. He stares on, his wrinkled mouth moving without a sound. A strange sadness, like a song. Wait, what did you say?
The future teaches you to be alone.
The present...
The present to be afraid and cold.
The old man pulls back the hood of his plastic cape and looks up into the sky. It's blue-gray, the same color as the sea. Those words, the future teaches you... Real music. Real prolect cult. He nods. That's La Revacholière, not your rock and roll misanthropy. Chanson de soldat of the black and whites. Listen, I'm not a misanthrope. I'm a half-dead police officer who's just doing his job. The job of a shitlicker. What is La Revacholière? It is the anthem of the world revolution. His eyes remain fixed on the sky. One of three. In Grad they sang, "Brave children, favorites of history," and in Signal it was... He struggles to remember, then gives up. Some Samaran shit, I guess. Well, how does it go, the song? How did it go? He looks at his gun on the ground and shakes his head slowly. Something about shooting rabbits. I don't know. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. It's gone now. Who are you? My name. He looks across the water, then back at you. Is Yosef Lilianovich Dross, political commissar of the 114th Anti-Aircraft Division of the 4th Army of the Commune of Revachol. I am a deserter, a partisan and a prisoner of war. This is my termless surrender. His eyes turn to the reeds again, dead and dull. The Commune of Revachol. The lieutenant forgets to close his mouth. You mean the ICM? You're a holdover from the Insulindian Citizens Militia, the Army of the Revolution. I was recruited in Jamrock in 07, trained in the École de Contrôle Aérien and consigned to emergency defense duties in 08. I left my unit on the eve of the landing. When I returned here on May 14th, the Commune had fallen. Still armed and ideologically trained, I wrote a criticism of myself and resumed partisan duties. 51 minus 8 equals 43. Wait, you've been on this island for 43 years? No. He looks into the fire. A wisp of smoke rises from somewhere between the charred logs. I've been on other islands, too. I was on Resurrection until they turned it into a spa in 18. Then I was on E48, a nameless sound, until the sea washed over it. Then I came back here. That was 22 years ago. You said you deserted your unit. I was just 16 years old, 15 when I volunteered. I had a lapse of faith. Sorry, when I was volunteered. That's a very different phrase. I had a lapse of faith. He clears his throat. And of courage, too. Lapse of faith. You could say I misunderstood the historic role of the proletariat and thought Mazovian socioeconomics were fallible. For a second, I doubted the irreducible laws of historic materialism. And a second is all it took. For what? For reaction to take hold. What's reaction? Petty bourgeois terror. It's in all men. And when was this exactly? May the 13th, 08, 44 years ago. He looks north. The horizon was black with Coalition airships. Their petroleum rose to the sky, and it looked like it formed the clouds, storm clouds. When they started shelling, it was dark magic. The combined might of international capital, all at once, all the greed and terror in the world, tore into Revachol. It lifted streets from the ground and turned houses into ghosts. We were in the flak tower. He gestures toward it. Huddled on the floor. The artillery was 80 kilometers away in Ozone, but I knew the commune would fall. It would all be turned into ash. So I said I was going to the map room. He looks east. And what then? I ran. I climbed the chain link across the water and hid inland. In the bunkers underground, like the weakest of the weak. A mouse. Frightened of all the ordnance all night and the sound of the rotors in the morning. Whirring. He looks at the sky. What was that? Airships. I climbed out. He closes his eyes. Into hell. The landing was complete. The chain was submerged. I had to swim back. The fortress was half submerged too, shattered. They'd all drowned in the lower levels or got torn to shreds above. The anti-aircraft gun had malfunctioned. So had I. I left them without ideological direction. He opens his eyes and stares right through you. It was real. I'd seen it. I'd seen it in reality. Seen what? The mask of humanity fall from capital. It has to take it off to kill everyone. Everything you love. All the hope and tenderness in the word. It has to take it off just for 1 second to do the deed. And then you see it, as it strangles and beats your friends to death. Sweetest, most courageous people in the world. He's silent for a second. And you see the fear and power in its eyes. Then you know. What? That the bourgeois are not human. I'm just gonna let him keep going. I had to. I had to fight it. I had to never stop. The old man falls silent. His black eyes keep piercing your skin as he looks to some great distance behind you, shaking his head slowly, retreating from it. How have you survived all this time? How does anyone survive? He looks at his worn running shoes. I steal. What do you steal? Supplies, vegetables, he winces. I collect rainwater. It's the life of a dog, not a human being. He coughs once more, then puts his hand on his belly. How is your health, Mr. Dross? I've been throwing up blood since winter, red like beetroot. Been passing it in stool, too. He does seem frail, gaunt for his age, more like 75 than 65. Trouble putting on weight could mean cancer. The RCM can provide medical services. You need to be looked over. I need to die. A droll smile stretches across his mouth. You don't have medical facilities, you have guns. That's all they give you. Toy guns. Well, we have Dramamine and other opioid-based painkillers. You must be in pain. A light goes on in his eyes. He smacks his dry lips. I have been running out of that stuff. And how have you coped mentally? I haven't. I have holes in my brain. Years missing, others filled with pain only. A decade of... His eyes roll into his skull and back. I don't even know what. Inferno? Oh, the lieutenant's about to say something. You know what? I'm gonna let Kim take over for a moment here. I would imagine it gets tremendously difficult, mentally, to live in isolation. Traitors. It's better alone. He nods toward Martinez. I watched the people of this city turn the lights back on, more and more each year. Ruins, glimmering in the dark, like a fucking merry-go-round. It's disgusting. He looks down at his shoes, his face parched from the sun and the wind. There's a wince of pain in there somewhere. Are they not heartbroken? How could they have moved on? How have you concealed yourself all these years? It was hard in the tens. He shakes his head. I didn't have partisan training. They were searching for stragglers, those bloodhounds. He closes his eyes. Floodlights on the water at night. There were posters, campaigns. We communards still hoped, and they needed to snuff that hope out. The East capitulated, Martinez and Coal City were turned to dust. He looks south. But Jamrock, Faubourg, even Couronne, and Boogie Street, of course. Those fucking Kips had Mazov coursing through their veins. And others, too. Some cordons of Revachol were still fighting. There were cells. I tried to contact them. He shakes his head. Soon they all went silent. The frequency's dead. Well, how did you get between here and the mainland? At night, I used a dinghy. He nods toward the deflated tire in the reeds. I only went after dark then. When I got to the city, I stayed underground. Patrols, you lot. The commons, too, they'd started snitching. In the city, you move underground. From bunker to bunker, he nods. Not anymore. No one cares now. I don't even have to hide. They think I'm another antisocial vagrant. I could walk straight into that town if I wanted. He falls silent, his gaze fixed on the shacks huddled together across the water. Do I want to ask him about this weapons cache? I don't know that really makes a lot of sense. There's a small bunker under the Feld building. Have you stayed there? The propaganda bunker? He coughs. I used to, but not anymore. Propaganda bunker? They stored leaflets there, broadcasting equipment too. Made broadcasts, I think. Propaganda officers. I buried them with their leaflets. They killed themselves. 2 young boys. Killed themselves? A lot of our boys did. I spent some winters there. Never liked it. Kept thinking of them. He stares at the ruins of the Feld building. No need to go underground anymore. It's better in the ruins on the ground. Well, why don't you just walk there? I don't want to. They're all traitors. Pigs, rabbits, and dogs. Men without ideals are only animals. He does not want to see life moving on. People forgetting, drinking, laughing. The weapons cache under Sanka's Lane 22B. In the basement. Have you been there? He looks at you, then pulls the raincoat tighter around his neck. So, you finally found it. There must have been a small squadron's worth of arms in there. Belle McGrav's, right? And they were damaged beyond use. I know. So you've been there. Sleeping. He coughs. Some nights. Ammo scrounging on others. The McGravs were shit even before they corroded. Some had bullets in the chamber, however. You feel the dots connecting. Little dots on the map he's walked across. One more question. Do you smoke Teomatiri cigarettes? I do. He coughs. You ever smoke them on the mainland? They're good, he nods. Plenty of tar. I like that boy on the pack, too. Reminds me of the last century. Tell me something else. The old man looks across the water, at the city, the ruins, the motorways rising above it all. What is this place? This island? It's not an island, Dwat. He looks around. It's a defensive fortification of the commune of Revachol, and I am its last surviving defender. Well, what was it used for? The congenitally deformed King Philip II built it to restrict access to the Bay of Revachol. We captured it in '02, retrofitted the fort with an anti-air gun to defend against an airborne landing, against the whole world. You mean the landing, the retaking of Revachol? Coalition military called it Operation Deathblow. He winces. I later found out on the radio they called it Deathblow. You're one of them. Tell me, who speaks like that? We had 50 million people on Caillou alone. Oh, hold up. First off, I'm not one of them. Sure you are. You're RCM. Answer me. Who calls an operation against 50 million people Deathblow? Murderers. I know what you mean. You don't know. You haven't seen it. He shakes his head, slowly. Iblis. Iblis. The black-eyed angel. He nods. Shaitan Ahura, the darkened one. Huh. That's information that I feel like I'm missing. You said this is your termless surrender? You're with the RCM. He waves in your general direction. The coalition-appointed mob that enforces bourgeois morals in Revachol. We're with the RCM. Let's leave it at that. Let's. He looks you in the eye. You represent the Moralist International, the enemies of humanity who took this city. I represent their adversary, the Parti Communiste d'Insolinde. Take me to them as a prisoner of war. I have relinquished my weapon. I can no longer serve. No superiors can relieve me of my duty. You bulldoze them all to a mass grave for trying to free humanity. His hand shakes and he breaks into a coughing fit. A spray of blood from his mouth on the black charcoal in the fire pit. Renee, the royalist on the coast, said, the communards signed the Revacholian Instrument of Surrender. Liberal reactionaries signed that instrument. Traitors who should have been burned alive. He draws his breath. I answer to the Communist Party. Is that part of why you've been here all this time? Because the party didn't surrender? He just wipes the blood from his chin. Boy, I mean, it is sort of honorable. It's also definitely insane. I'm just gonna say I understand. I don't think you did. He stares at the fire pit. You live in a delusion. Radio shows, speed racing, and sporting goods. It's not real. So, you're a communist soldier from the Communist Army. No, I am not a soldier. I am an ideological officer. I belong to the party, not the army. But you said you were trained and assigned to the Defense Corps. Trained, he nods, in historical materialism, then assigned as a political commissar by the party. These things used to mean something. So that means you're a trained communist, right? He nods slowly, then another tremor. I'm definitely not a moralist. Also, he would really not care for that. I'm just going to say nothing. He looks away to the sea and lets out a cough. I wonder if I would have had another option there if I'd kept the Mazovian economics thought. Again, you've been hiding here for 43 years. 43 years and 10 months. That's insane. It's not how a human being should live, but I had to. He grimaces, clearly in pain. I couldn't just forget. I couldn't just forget what I saw. He just couldn't. You couldn't give up. He nods. But he can now. What have you been doing during all this time? Hiding, fishing, waiting. He looks across the water. Where the afternoon grows late, on Rue de Saint-Ghislain, people walk home. Streetlights will soon be lit. Further inland, the streets are alive with workers. Men, women, children. Street hawks and migrant laborers. The temperature is steady. Alto cumulus clouds form above Precinct 41. Always waiting. The old man turns his eyes from the shore and back to you. For what? For her to return. Her who? Girl-child revolution. Hey, listen, I come from there. I can assure you that is not what the people are planning. I'm not a fool. He blinks his black eyes. I know. The material base for an uprising has eroded. The working class has betrayed mankind. The historic opportunity for a revolution has passed. It will not come back anymore. However hard I try, whatever I do. I have another serious question for you. There is nothing serious in this world. He looks at the gun lying on the ground. It's a farce. My composure is not all that high. What have you been using this gun for? I've used it for killing people. Killing people. It's a gun. That's what they're for. You want a moralist euphemism? Defending your family and your property? Well, I haven't done that. I've used it to kill people. Interesting. The lieutenant nods. During or after the war? There is no after the war. He shakes his head and smiles, his teeth rotten black. Class war is never over. So he's continued killing after the hostilities ended, okay? This is it. You can feel it, like battery acid on the tip of your tongue. Something you haven't felt in a while, but what? This is what you live for. This is the shit. The great serotonin jackpot. The solution. Go in straight. No euphemisms. He doesn't like those. No, be careful now. Slow and steady does it. Make him repeat it first. So you're saying you killed people after active fighting stopped? What did I just say? He keeps shaking his head, erratically suddenly. He brushes something out of his eye. What did I just tell you? Don't drop the ball now. I did what hand-eye coordination said. Alright, going straight, no euphemisms. Yeah, okay. Did you use that gun to shoot and kill a colonel of the security contractor Krenel? The who now? He leans in and cups his ear. He heard you. He just wants to hear you say it again. This is dramatic flair on his part. Right choice. We're in. Do it, sire. A beautiful, strong man sent here by the honorable private military company Krenel is so much the opposite of what I believe. Which version of this do we say? They're all somewhat true. The fascist death squad who took a bullet in the mouth on the night of March 4th. Oh, yes, that one. He looks up in the sky and clacks his tongue. Ugly piece of work, that boy. Did you kill him? The lieutenant takes a sudden step toward him. I am a son of a welder and an officer of the commune of Revachol. He spits a big one at the lieutenant's feet. I do not collaborate with murderers and pederasts of the liberal regime. A drop of blood in the saliva. Exhaust him with proof. Pile it all on him. Get a confession. Scent of blood in the air. But what else? There was something you can't remember. Something about the tracks? Suddenly, all those tracks are so confusing. Go with something else first. Okay, we've done the ballistics. Shot came from this island. Yeah, I saw you poking around there looking for evidence. You're damn diligent when it comes to dead fascies. A jitter passes him. Did you like the view? You had direct visibility. There are embrasures in the concrete specifically meant for a topfaller to use, and you had a long-range rifle in your possession. The lieutenant softens his voice. You've been here a long time, Mr. Dross. Too long. You clearly need medical aid. I'm ready to die. The man interrupts him, then coughs. I've done my part. He's practically admitting to it. Dead fasces for fascist. Done his part. It's the best uninterrupted line of sight in that window into all of Martinez. I mean, we're supposed to be bombarding him with evidence, right? The view was perfect. With a pair of binoculars, I could have seen in the room. Because it's a sniper's nest, you stupid fuck. Radio Gauche is right. You have worms in your brain. Another sudden twitch, then one more in his right eye. Come on, what am I forgetting? And then I visibly hit myself in the side of my head. Wait, here it comes. The goddamn Maybells! The dry Maybells on Klosh's roof! Oh yeah! There were Maybells in the grass when you got here, and Maybells on Klosh's balcony. And nowhere else, nowhere in all of Martinez have you seen them. I can't believe those damn Maybells actually were important. I told Kim. I told him. Wait, don't forget the footprints. The diagonal prints in the dust in the secret space behind Klosh's bedroom. Now they're going to come up. Of course. Thank you, Head. Thank you. You got it. Remember, the boot prints were like no modern soul. Nothing else comes up. You see the lieutenant watch you try to stimulate thought processes by hitting yourself. I'm sorry this didn't do anything. Usually hurting yourself does. I don't know, it seemed very helpful. Officer, a word? He gestures to talk to you on the side. No, I'm almost there. Just let me have a few more punches. Almost where? Almost ready to bleed to death? He looks at the bloodstain on your pant leg. No, come on. A word. Let's go. Alright, Kim. This episode's gotten pretty long, but I think we're right at the end here, so... The lieutenant whispers, then gives the suspect a short glance. And do you think he did it? He nods. From nothing to this in a day. A crooked little smile. This is good, Lieutenant Yefretor. We just need a confession first, and then maybe a solid motive later. Yeah, I'm trying to get him to confess. Yes, good going. That should be our first priority. So, how do you think the questioning's going? This seems like a weird time to have this conversation. Good, he nods. We're doing very good. He wants to confess, I can see that. We just need to pile it on a little more. The more we have on him, the closer he is. You hear that? He thinks you're this close. Alright. Let's keep going. I'm doing it. Remember, the lieutenant whispers, he wants to tell us, but he doesn't want to help us. It needs to look like we already have everything. There's a palpable excitement in his tone. He likes him for this. A lot. But there's something more, too. He thinks the deserter has more than just this case in him. 44 years here. You think he has more than just this one? Oh, yes, he nods. And he hasn't spoken to anybody in a long time. If we get him open, who knows what will pour out. Yeah, that makes sense. Hey everybody, sorry for the sudden cut in, but this ended up running incredibly long, like way too long to post this one video, so I'm going to cut it in half here, and that's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching, as always. Come back next time, tomorrow, for the other half of this severely long conversation, and we'll see you then.